The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Keith Tebow from FRC Media. After a week off, we are back speaking with the mayor of Fall River, and I was off last week, not the mayor. So we're bringing in Mayor Paul Coogan for his weekly visit with us. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm great, Keith. How about you guys?
I am doing well, thank you. Just a couple of quick things this week we want to just touch upon. This Monday, Governor Maura Healey signed the state budget into law. And now that that's finalized, the city gets benefits, of course, money from the state on a number of issues. And I know that the commitment to education, again, is strong, and also government aid. How important is it to get this settled so actually the city can move forward as well on its spending for the year?
Right. What happens, though, and Keith, which makes it a little tricky in these budgets, is because of the rapid increase in school funding, which is obviously under the Student Opportunity Act, almost all of our unrestricted government aid increases go straight to the schools as the matching percent that the city has to throw to the schools. Now, obviously, our kids are more than worth it, and that's not the issue. But when you give us $5 on one hand and send us a bill for $7 on the other, then we're not going to be able to build our budget stronger like that. It's just the way things are right now because of the rapid increase in the Student Opportunity Act and the increases in unrestricted government aid, which don't match it. Obviously, we're thankful for every penny we get in the state budget, which helps the city of Fall River. And again, going to schools is not the worst thing, but at the same time, there's a lot of needs in the city, and we like to use the money for other stuff also.
And from what I understand as well, there's also increased funding for road projects as part of the, excuse me, the millionaire's tax. Is the city expected to see more of that this year as well?
Yeah, well, we'll see what they end up giving us in Chapter 90 when it's done. We did get a couple of increases the last few years, and obviously, as people know, a ton of streets are either in planning stages or being done in the city of Fall River or have been done. So we're very, very thankful for any increase in roads and bridges and all that infrastructure money that makes the city much more livable. We're doing our best to prioritize the streets that need it the most and go forward from there.
All right, moving forward, the city announced last week that it's looking for input from the residents in terms of parking, primarily parking downtown in Fall River. I know the Department of Engineering and Planning is spearheading this and seeking input on terms of parking downtown. What are some of the things that the department's looking to do?
Well, again, we have two garages downtown, 3rd Street and Pearl Street. We're looking to see if we're maximizing those spaces. We do have a number of people that rent monthly and in both of those, and we're looking long term what our plans for the garages are. Our street parking, obviously, we've been going to the meters now. We use a credit card instead of putting in the quarters, but space is at a premium downtown, and I know that we're talking to a number of people that own lots, whether it's the St. Mary's, the old St. Mary's School on 2nd Street, and we are trying to rapidly increase parking opportunities all the way down to the waterfront. That's really where the pressure is going to come, is in our waterfront. I know there's a new parking lot being built across from the Tipsy Seagull on that corner. I know Bob Bogan, who owns that property, is putting something in there now. You can see that he's working to maneuver the gates up, and these are all good things for parking in the city of Fall River. But a comprehensive study to let us know exactly where we stand is probably a good thing. As someone always said to me, when you have parking problems, it means you have people around, which is a good thing. And we need more people in downtown Fall River. So maybe this parking study will allow us to look for ways to get people in and out of Fall River, in and out of downtown quicker and more conveniently, so maybe they can spend a little more time here.
And I know that the survey is open. There's links on the city's website. I believe it's still around August 20th, 21st, I believe, so people can submit their comments through that survey. So there's plenty of time to do that. Shifting gears, I know we've talked about this before. The homeless encampments across the city has been an issue for a while, and there was a time prior to this past spring where if the city had gone in to do something because of the shelter laws within the state of Massachusetts, there needed to be a place to put people, and that was always a difficult thing to meet at times. And with the Supreme Court ruling that yes, local communities can actually clean up the camps, it sort of changed the focus. I guess give us an update on the encampment situation in the city and how the city plans to deal with it moving forward.
Well, again, we have our outreach teams in those camps at least a few times every
Right.
week. The one that seems to keep coming to the forefront is the one at the bottom of Kennedy Park. We're working with the train, the rail that goes through there. They want to clear their area to the width that they're allowed to have around their old railroad tracks down there because they don't want people there. At the same time, I was down there the other day, and Star had their van there, which had a doctor and two other medical personnel helping those people to get the medical care they need. It is an unbelievable struggle, and people have to understand. I was looking at a small city in New York, Jamestown, New York. You can Google it when we're off the air, and their battle with homelessness. They're 27,000 people, and they have over 300 homeless. Now, we don't have any number, as far as I know, close to that, but it is a constant struggle. We move them, they go somewhere else. We move them, they go somewhere else. It's the shift is on, and we're trying to find, places for these people. We had a meeting last week with First Step In to try to get some additional beds for the summer from them, and we're working closely with them to expand the opportunities. But it is a struggle. It's something we're working on. We have noticed that the Kennedy Park cleanup has gone a little better, but there is still work to do.
Yeah. And, we've talked about this before, how, people want to seek help. They need to accept help. And a lot of times, unless they're breaking the law, there's not really a lot that you can do. You can move them, right, or get them out of that one space. But as you said, they tend to go other areas. So I know
They
that's
move
always been the
around.
case.
Yep. They go back to where they were before, and then they rotate around to the next one. It's we had one gentleman. We had him in an apartment, and he and his girlfriend got an apartment. I don't think they lasted 3 weeks. I ran into him back in a camp, and I said, "You had a place to live." They threw me out. I had too many visitors. I'm like, gee, you finally get them into an
Yeah.
apartment, and they don't make it 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
There's so many issues with those residents. Like I say it every time, you have such a stew of mental health issues, drugs, alcohol, loneliness. It's really a difficult fight, and Fall River does better than most communities as far as I'm concerned. When I read around what's going on in other places, we're working hard at it, and we have a good team out there, the FAST team, and our support from South Coast Hospitals, and we're trying to do our best to get these people into apartments. But as I just said to you, we got some people into apartments, and they didn't make it a month. And the other day, we had an individual we ran into that wanted to go to Florida. We bought him a bus ticket. Within an hour and a half, he was gone. I mean, we'll do whatever we can to move people along to where they want to be, but we need their cooperation also.
Yeah. Never as cut and dry as what some people would wish it would be.
Yeah.
Finally, there was some photos on social media over the past week or so about some trash that was dumped at Travassos Park. The city was very proactive in removing that, and it got me thinking about, I'm sure people see things constantly around the city, and there are many instances where the city doesn't know that this exists. So I guess, what's the best way for people to reach out if they see trash in public areas? DCM, I guess, how do people, report that?
I mean, if it's a reporting of a trash, we get them all day long in the mayor's office too. So that's not, you can call up here 324-2600 at 508. We get them all the time. They can call DCM. But again, it's it's so nice to catch people and hit them with a substantial fine when they're dumping their furniture or they're dumping their mattress. Um, it's really disgusting the way these people treat the city, and then other people ride around and say, "Boy, the city's dirty." Well, it's dirty because people don't know how to act, and they think the sidewalk or the street is their private litter disposal place. And it really does drive me nuts. And we're doing a lot of work. We have our street crew out from Holly Hill Baptista and the Career Center. We have our street sweepers going all the time, and we're trying to get a handle on litter, but it is a battle. And when people see something like that, please let us know. I mean, if you all remember, a few years ago, we had those mattresses on Wilson Road, the 20
Yeah.
mattresses that were dumped. We never caught those people. We would love to catch people like that. I really wish the fine would be more, and we'd fine them for every mattress they throw out of the back of the truck. But
Yeah.
anybody that can help us with trying to control people that are doing illegal dumping, that would be great, and we appreciate it if you would.
Yep. All right, Mayor Paul Coogan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll talk again next week. Take care.
Thanks, Keith.
All right. And thank you for joining us here in FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week.